creators, welcome back to the club. So today we are going to be doing a special episode for you guys, the Beyond the Episode. Woo! So basically, you guys, what this episode is going to be, it's kind of just every single month we want to do an activation with some of our guests. So some of it's been on Instagram, and been doing giveaways, yes. We've been doing events, promoting events. So if you guys have been paying attention, you already know what's up. So this month we're going to be talking about everything that we've done so far when it comes to these extra activations that we've done.
Activation. But specifically this month, what we did was we've been promoting the heck out of an event that we co-sponsored with Shania Davis, a sexologist that we had on episode 3 of this season. So if you haven't seen it yet, go ahead and check it out. But this past weekend, girl, it was a movie. It was, right? It was a movie.
We are going to insert a clip right here so you guys can kind of see and hear what we had going on for the evening.
Okay, Akilah, what are we doing?
We're putting together the event.
It all together.
So excited.
Yes, so cute.
Oh, and the people are calling already.
The people are calling. We have the fruit salad here, looking beautiful.
Hello.
And we're getting drinks. You guys, of course, have the bubbly poppin'. So, you guys, this is about to be an event. All right, people are coming.
Rated R to be exact.
Okay, let them know. Let them know. It was so much fun. So basically what we did is we had a group session with Chenier, which is something that she already offers as one of her services. And then we kind of just impeded on the hosting aspect of that. And then we sold tickets, and we kind of had people come over. So everyone who was kind of like LA based was able to come to Akilah's house, and we had like snacks.
It was an entire vibe. And even before we even talk about the vibe, let's just debrief the event or what it was. Because if you've been watching our Instagram or socials, we've promoted, like I said, but it was really a sex workshop and a workshop on intimacy, on, managing and not even perfecting, but making sure that you get your big O, you feel comfortable.
It was about owning your body.
Yeah. There it is.
And so that's kind of what we talked to Shania about. And so it was really fun to just kind of have a really open group of girls,
yes.
group of women. So we had some on Zoom. Shania's in New York, and she has some of her New York friends, and then we had all the rest of the girls at Akilah's house, and Akilah's house is just so cute. I keep saying that. I've said that so many times in some of our past episodes. She has like the green couch and like the pink palm tree wallpaper. Like, it's just the cutest, quirky vibe.
All about curating vibe, and yes. I think that's what it was. For me, at least, with my apartment, it was kind of like this. I think is going to be that last hurrah. We'll see where life takes me. But the last hurrah before you're wiped up and you're, sharing a space with someone. So I was like,
what? Girl, you trying to get wiped up?
Yes, honey. I will be wiped up. Let's manifest that. Not immediately, but it will happen. So this is that last hurrah. I'm thinking whether that last hurrah takes a year, that's fine. But this is that last hurrah before marriage. So if I'm living by myself, we're going to make it my thing. But anyways, I was so excited to share that with Ebony, with folks who watch, listen, subscribe to our podcast and our show all the time. Yeah. And it was cool to just take it beyond the episode, beyond the club.
And we want to continue to do that. So you guys, please continue to stay tuned with what it is that we have going on with the Black Creators Club, because every month we want to be able to get you guys involved, have little activations, have cute things that we can kind of show you guys that we're building a community here. Like, this is love, okay?
Yeah.
But I have to say, before we really get into the event, I have to say, always planning an event is always something that is just, and I told Akilah, I said, let's do the least prep as possible. Like, I'll make the fruit salad, and then let's order a charcuterie box or something, and let's just call it a day. Let's not do the most. I brought champagne, and that was it, and everyone else brought alcohol.
We asked everyone else to bring wine or a bottle.
But planning an event, even though we had least prep, it was just still chaotic.
Yes.
People showing up, we got to let people in. The box came. The security box came 20 minutes before the event, which is fine, but it was just we were just all running around
all over.
like psychos.
Not to mention the tech aspects of it, because we were having folks on Zoom, and of course this is the time when AirPlay isn't working, the sound isn't working, and so we're figuring everything out. It was intense. And so kind of what she said in terms of event planning, you think you know what you're doing, and then just be prepared. Day of the event, be prepared for something to go wrong,
because it always does.
You to have to just think on your feet, and that's what we did. And I think it worked out.
We made it work. Thank God. Yeah, but I have to say it was so cute. So the security board, you guys, like she has, first off, there's like a cute little thank you note that she sent with the box, and it just says, thank you so much for your ordering. The box is supporting a small business, so we supported a small business, and as well as, putting on our little event, and she was excited about her little girls' night, and then she wrote down all of the things that were in the box. So we had like the Irish cheddar, Asiago cheese, beef salami, peppered salami, pepperoni, pepper jelly. Like, she made it so cute.
Yeah,
so we're gonna
so
show that and share that with like on our Instagram and in this video if you're watching it on YouTube,
Yes.
so you'll be able to see what she provides. You guys check her out. It's bomb.
We got a ton of content too. So especially if you generally listen to this via podcast, via Apple or Spotify, this might be the episode that you go ahead and watch it on YouTube so you get the full event and the experience, because it started even beforehand. Like I said, we were sending out invitations, we were doing our marketing to get folks to purchase tickets, and it was love. It was a good number of people. It ended up being what, like 10 to 12 folks immediately, like back and forth within the Zoom and in our space, which I think, especially when you're talking about sex and talking about that intimacy piece, like I think any bigger would have been more of a
too much,
like more of a class versus
too much. Like definitely more of a class, but definitely too much to wrangle in. Like I feel like even the girls that we had like in house, it was like already like, okay, we're starting again. We have, it was just trying to wrangle them all in.
Totally.
But you guys, let's get into what it is that we even talked about on this class. Okay, so Chenier was amazing with the fact that she did a little icebreaker. Now this icebreaker, I feel like you could use it for anything at work, for anything. So you guys take notes. It was like red light, yellow light, green light.
Yes. So how about we do the exercise with them? So if folks are listening or folks are watching, this is your moment. Take out a piece of paper and a pen, and like Ebony said, on that paper, write red in one column, yellow in the middle, and then green. So you're having 3 columns. And then what we did was read out, or what Chenier did, was read out different words and different scenarios, and then you have to say whether red, oh, there's no way in hell that I would do that.
Yeah, yellow, I'm gonna try it.
Yes.
Or I haven't tried it yet, or I'm curious about it.
And then green, oh, it's a go for me. I've probably done it before, or I'm interested and want to do it. So
a little disclaimer, this activity is great for work, but of course change the topic of discussion. Okay, we don't need to be talking about sex at work. Okay, very inappropriate.
Let's go through some of the
items. Okay, so one was toe sucking. Where'd you put that for you?
I put that as a red. And toe sucking was...
So did I!
Yeah, for that it's more like, would you suck someone else's toes, your partner or whoever, your lover's toes? And for me...
No. Not the toes, child. Imagine all the, and even if you wash the feet, right, and you get a pedicure and the whole 9, like, just the fact that, like, you're putting someone's toes in your mouth, I don't know, something about that does not feel sexy, and I probably would feel very silly even doing it, so I'm sure he probably would be like, all right, stop, like, this ain't even,
yeah,
not for me.
Yeah, to be honest, I attribute it more of, like, if anyone was gonna do it, it's probably the guy to the woman, and I'm thinking very, like, heteronormatively here, but, like, that might be the scenario, so I don't picture myself doing it, but if a guy wanted to do it, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe that could be interesting. But,
yeah, if a guy wanted to do it to me, I'd be down. I've done it before, and I'm down for that. I'm down for it. What was the next one?
The next one will go with FaceTime sex. So that was one that I put in the green.
Okay, well, I put that in the yellow for me, because I've never done that, and I was kind of like, I don't know if I would be into it or not into it. I feel like when guys ask for like photos or pictures or something like that already makes me feel uncomfortable, so I can't even imagine being on FaceTime. But I've also never had like a true like boy, like maybe would feel different if it was like my boyfriend, you know, like be like, okay babe, you're on a work trip, or oh you're far away, or oh you're doing like, okay wait, hey let me show you a little something, like maybe I might feel different, but for now it's a yellow light, wouldn't say no to it.
You'll be open. I mean, especially long distance, like I mean, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. All right, the next one was name calling. And
now this one was a little more crazy.
That became, and so that's another thing. Like we would, it's not like we're just doing this in silence. Like we would say something, and that would spark discussion.
Totally.
And so it was so good to have like different things, and people are like, "Oh, I did this before, I wouldn't," or whatever. And then asking questions too, because this was a moment for them to get more clarity on like what they're into. So name calling. The examples that were used was like, okay, what if he or she wants to call you a slut or a bitch? Like when you guys are having sex, are you into it?
I put that in the yellow because again, that's I've had such loving partners, you guys. I have not had someone say those types of words to me before, so I don't know how I would respond to it.
Yeah.
But I was like, maybe I wouldn't be opposed, but at the same time, I don't know.
I don't know. And something I mentioned, I'm like, what if they asked you beforehand, So this was like a predetermined situation. Does it make it less sexy because someone planned when they were having sex with you next? You'll be called a bitch. Or at one point in the game, maybe you will be called a slut before this session is over. So for me, I don't know. I put that in the yellow as well because I'm like, maybe those don't have to be the names, Probably you can call me other things, but I feel like
what else are they gonna call you? Right.
Princess, hey. I don't know.
I don't think that was the point of the name calling. Okay, the other one was like role play. That one I put in the green. I feel like that's like fun, easy, basic. Like, I feel like it's fun. I definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
I put that in the green too.
I'm 1000% into it.
The next one, anal sex, which is specifically, did she say, I think she said rimming, a rim job specifically. So whether or not you would be interested in eating someone's ass, licking someone's butt, whatever that might be, and just general anal.
I definitely said red to both of those. They were both in the red column. I've never done anal, and I don't think I'd be interested in that, nor am I interested in licking anyone's butthole. I feel like for me, it's a one-way street. You know what I'm saying? It's a one-way street.
Yeah. And that became a whole thing, and like we said at the beginning of our event, the non-disclaimer thing, we're not going to share their specific stories or their specific experiences, but just know it became a convo.
But on the convo, right, like, there was, Chenier was very informative when it came to if you wanted to, right? So I brought up the idea of the fact that, like, maybe giving a rim job to your man kind of starts to seem like, is he gay? Is he not gay? Like, you start to question these things. And then I kind of was like, is that just more of like a societal mental thing where, we should be open as humans to be pleasuring our partner, and whether that is whatever makes them pleasured or pleased, like, we should be more open and willing to do that without, like, labeling
the
them
and the labels
as like gay or something that would make them feel less masculine if that's what you're dating. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was kind of the point I brought up. But Chenier also came up with some really great tips if you wanted to try it. Now,
yes.
I feel like I'm like, should we say, should we not? Because you should have been there.
Right.
But we'll give you a little taste since it was like our first event. Okay.
Right.
So basically, she was like, if your man was into it, maybe you guys should try the position of like 69 and kind of like work your way like a little something.
And it doesn't have to be in an entire session. More so like
just a little lick or something.
Tip out, step in, step out, and then just like from there go for it, or decide to say, or just based on their reaction to say, okay, maybe he's not into it, and now it doesn't have to ever be a topic of discussion. Because I know, for instance, another piece that we were discussing was the idea that you don't probably know if your man, and again, we're speaking very like, oh my gosh, woman, man, like that's the relationship type of dynamic, but like you don't know if this man may be interested and may not want to bring it up because of those societal, pressures or norms. Right. To say, if they even mention it, then you'll be looking at them sideways like, oh, why are you interested in this? Like, right. What's the reason?
Totally.
Like, and is this going to be an everyday occurrence? Like, is this more of,
but if your man is into it, I feel like, or if your woman is into something like this, like, I feel like it's open, it should be open for discussion, and you should be open to at least trying it for your partner.
All right, on that, the next one that we talked about was, got into the idea of threesomes, and so there were multiple types, really. The first one, threesome between just you as a woman and two other women. Would you be down for that? Me personally, I put that as a red.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
For all threesome period. I don't care if it was two girls, a guy, two guys, and a girl.
You put it all
guys. No, just no. And the only reason why I say no is because I was just thinking about, I only put it in the perspective of no because I was thinking I was in a relationship. Mm-hmm. Like if I was in a relationship and like having a threesome with my boyfriend, I feel like that for me is just a 1000% no. It just opens up like so many different cans of worms. Totally. Yeah. What if he wants it? What if he likes her better? What if you start getting jealous? Then you're insecure. Like, I just don't have time for any of that. I feel like being in a relationship is hard enough.
You don't want to invite. But my thing is, and then we talked about, well, what if it's someone that you don't really know like that? You meet on vacation, one night situation. You don't have to ever see that in, because I think the negatives, the Pandora's box sometimes comes from the fact of, is this someone that we know? Is this someone that's around? Is this a potential, how you look at her might be different than how you interact with me? But on the flip side, other folks brought up the sense of like, hey, that girl can be there to do the things you don't want to do. Maybe they're the ones that are doing the anal rim jobs and whatever else because you're not the one doing it. You don't want to do it anyway. Or
it's an idea.
Yeah. Or on the flip
but what
side,
if you really like that? And then you have to bring her around every time now because now you got your man addicted. Okay?
Or it could be the thing too, because we got into discussion also. Threesomes, we kind of generally say, 2 women and a guy, but what if you're the only woman in the room, and how do you equate that? At first, I was equating that more so, that would feel more so like aggressive, and I would feel a little bit threatened, to be honest. Like if there's 2 guys there,
just
me,
like, yeah,
I feel
come
like,
here, girl.
Right. And I feel like, Lord, I don't know. I know I consented, but I don't know if I truly consented. But I think the way that we talked about it was the idea of, well, no, like, there's situations where these 2 men literally are just there to please you, and that could be an entirely different experience.
Or if the girl's also there just to please you.
Just to please, right.
And maybe it's not having sex with your man, and maybe it's just for you. Maybe
Just
she's
for
like
you.
a pure lesbian. Okay?
That could be a thing, too. So just opening the perspective to say it doesn't have to be the way that we think of it normally.
You can kind of, like, I guess, make your own parameters around
Exactly.
that. That's, kind of what we talked about as well. She mentioned snowballing. Do you remember what that was?
Snowballing. Oh, yeah. That was when a guy would come in your mouth.
Oh, and then you would spit it back
into his.
Girl, that was a red flag for me.
No.
No. First of all, it's not even. No. First of all, it's not even going in my mouth. That's number 1. No.
Let's be clear.
No.
Yeah, that.
No.
And
I mean, Trey Songz.
That was what I was going to say. Trey Songz would be into that. Maybe.
Trey Songz would be into that. Trey Songz was out here on the net over here spitting in the girl's mouth doing the most, okay? Now, he a nasty freak.
Don't call me,
man.
Trey. Don't call me.
Don't call me. All right. Oh, my God. I love it.
The next one was double penetration. If you would be into that.
I don't know. I put yellow light.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why I put green.
Oh!
'Cause I'm looking at myself like, there's
She a freak? Is she a freak every day of the week?
I did my whole diagnosis of the threesome with 2, but there's no, I don't know. I wasn't, this was after the wine started. This is not me. I was bribed. But the next one was if you're interested in being tied up and gagged.
See, the tied up, I'm fine with. The gagging part, I don't know. I put it as a yellow light because I don't know. I really only have 1 green. I only have 1 green light. You had 3?
2 and a possible, because I told you this double penetration.
That one was an oopsie doopsie. I got you.
Yeah, maybe, listen, that's why we wanted this workshop, because the questions that came from this, and if there's any more questions from what we're saying now that you're thinking through, like, email us at theblackcreatorsclub@gmail.com. You can DM us or literally just comment on our videos and we'll see it all at the Black Creators Club on Instagram, and we'll get back to you, and we'll perhaps we were thinking of doing perhaps a round 2 with either Shanier or another sexologist, a sex therapist, if we want to make it a little more medical and scientifically focused. But we want to continue doing this because it's a way of just like, not only tapping into your mind, but also, all the aspects that happen when it comes to sex.
All of the aspects, but obviously we're not a sex podcast.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
So it's like we still have activations that we still want to do with like our music guest and some of our other guests that we have, and we continue to do that with every single guest. We are definitely trying to like push like a beyond the episode activation on some type of like platform. Like this one just happened to be more interactive,
right?
But
there'll be other things.
There'll be other things. So we'll talk about that a little later.
Yes.
But yeah, so anyways, just to even continue to talk about the vibe of the night, like it was just such a good energy. And we did have a lot of fun talking about sex. Mm-hmm. We had a lot of tips. She brought up the chair thing again, which you guys know if you guys watched the episode. I'm a proponent of the chair and the sex. Chair and sex equal a heart for me. Okay, that is the vibe. So she brought that up again, and that was kind of so. But I'd have to say, like one of my favorite things during the night was just how everyone was engaged.
Yes,
and how everyone was like talking to her and asking her questions and being open and being like, I'm in a relationship and I need help with this, or like my man brought up this, or like what if we wanted to try this? And that for me felt like, okay, like we're having a successful event.
Yeah,
how did you?
Absolutely.
What was your favorite
that's
part
literally.
of the night?
Man, how can I choose one favorite part? I think when we started talking about, on another level, we started talking about blockages. So kind of like, was that it? Yeah.
Yes.
So we did the icebreaker and a lot of questions, a lot of fun. Sometimes a lot of, different things came up. But then we talked about, when I mentioned blockages, is more so, what do you think is blocking you personally from having that most carefree freedom when it comes to your sex and your intimacy? Like, what is that thing or things? And it brought up a lot of personal stuff with a lot of different people, but also just even if you didn't want to share it openly, you yourself thinking through, like, what is stopping me from being completely fulfilled in this situation? Not being a selfish lover here, but really just being completely fulfilled in how I view myself in my most intimate form. And I thought it was great to speak to other people about that because it was a moment to really get deeper. We were, like I said, we had the fruit salad, we had the fun, we had the wine, we had the drinks, people laughing, but that was a moment where we really no, this is taking it to a different level and taking it back to, again, we're not a sex podcast, so taking it back to that, living your best life, educational, like being your best self and elevating to that higher vibration. So that was awesome, and I think people got really vulnerable. And so, you guys think about it too. Like, what was your biggest
I think that,
blockage?
the mental block, for me, I was like, my mental blockage. Like, I think that could be a lot of women's problems too. Just like thinking too much, thinking too hard, like not really letting yourself go, or like not really being in the moment. Like, you're in it because you feel it and like, oh, it feels great, but it's not like there's something that needs to be unlocked a little bit, like some freedom in your mind that you need to like go and think. They were even like, you could think, okay, they were like, no one's privy to your thoughts. Yeah. Okay, you could be thinking about George Clooney, Idris Elba, Trey Songz, Chris Brown, like whoever it is that's your fantasy girl. You could just start thinking about that. And ain't nobody else gonna know. So if they take you there, child, they take you all the way there, and you should do that every time.
Just embrace it. And that's it. Yeah, and the blockage for me, I was thinking a lot, kind of what you're saying, is kind of on the lines of mental, but really just like, how do you know this is a good job? Like, how do you, there's different things that you kind of can tap into, but like then taking a step further, like, why do you feel like you need to have that check, like that achievement? Like, okay, it worked out. Like, this is great. Like, he enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Boom. Right. It's like being more in the moment when it comes to that experience. And so that was great talking about it. And I mean, people loved it. I mean, the notes that folks were taking. Oh my gosh. Was like amazing.
This is the one thing that I really, really loved that she said. So she's like, use 5 senses during sex. She wants like all of the senses.
Yes, that was a good idea.
Being engaged while you're having sex. Also, men. No, I want you guys to break this down.
Before you the 5 senses in terms of like, oh my gosh, not only saying, oh, this feels so great, but also like, I see I'm about to do this. I feel this. I hear this. Like so being really more vocal about those senses.
How you're feeling during the whole experience.
Because that makes the experience that much better.
Yeah. But this one I really love. This quote was amazing. You guys should definitely write this down. Fine. Record it. Do what you got to do. Because this was really the one. She said, men set the pace. Oh. But women set the tone.
Women set the tone.
Okay. That for me was a word. It was a word because I just felt like, yes, okay, men set the pace when it comes to sex right there. Like, I want you, I want this, I want that, I want blah. But so the conversation was kind of around like, how do you feel confident? How do you feel engaged? How do you, the performance, right?
Right.
And so Shanier was kind of like, you run the show, girl. It's your show. Like, you set the tone. Like, if you come in confident and sexy and feeling yourself, he has no choice but to feel like, oh, my girl is out here living her best life. You better come with it. So that was like kind of low-key one of the other biggest takeaways that I took was like, yes, like men set the tone, but women... Or men set the pace, but women set the tone. So I love that quote. I thought that was a word.
Yes. Yes. Ultimately, it's mindset and it's attitude. Like, just get in there, feel your best, and live your life. Like, this is your experience. It's your journey. And I loved having that with other people. Like, this event was so good. She got in deep too. Like, we definitely talked. It was sex, but it was definitely informative. Definitely informative. And like I said, like, all the planning, all the prep that we did beforehand was so great because the laughter, the fun, the vibes. And we didn't even mention, like, we made it PJ themed. So we're like, oh, everyone come in. And we made sure to say pajamas, not lingerie, because we didn't want to be like, again, like, folks feel comfy, feel ready to just relax and feel like you're amongst your girlfriends and can just like speak freely. And that's what we had.
We don't want to have a sex party.
No.
We're not trying to have an orgy.
Oh my gosh. No, ma'am. Bolo is not coming. If you watch Housewives, you know what I mean.
Bolo the stripper child. Okay, yeah. Oh my gosh.
Not at all.
Yeah, but that was so much fun. And just to even go through some of the other activations that we've also had this month, I just want to go through quickly. With Oofy, we had our t-shirt, our sweatshirt giveaway.
Yes.
That was amazing. What else did we do?
Well, we
Let's
have
do something else.
we have the sweatshirt giveaway. We have this we're talking about in the future. We got a lot of things planned for y'all because we had a lot of amazing guests just come on, and we have more in the future. And everyone wants to get more involved with the Black Creators Club, and we want to get more involved with them too. We're building a community that lives on and off platform. So be ready to be entertained, to be, just to be a part of the club. And when we mean that, we mean not only just a general member listening and watching the shows, but VIP. Be VIP.
Okay.
Be in the scene, in the mix, because we're really here to just create that community, foster that development.
And we're really excited to even start, we're going to be launching a newsletter soon. We're going to be launching our website soon.
Yes.
So there's so many different things that we have in the works and we're so excited about. So you guys really need to just stay in tune with us.
Yes.
We really just wanted to get on here and just talk to you guys about the things that we're doing.
Yeah.
And the event that we're putting on and the events that we're going to continue to put on. So please keep us in mind. Watch us on YouTube. Listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We are your favorite podcast, your favorite host. You already know what time it is, okay? The Black Creators Club is everywhere. We are here to stay.
Yes. Come on. Energy. That is the vibe.
It's 2025. We're trying to be where the money resides. Where the money resides,
yes,
okay?
Yes. And so, again, at the Black Creators Club, follow us everywhere. Personally, you can find Ebony chatting.
You can find me chatting Black-owned businesses at Ebony Chapman 12 on Instagram, and Akilah.
You can find me on Instagram at Akilah Friend, talking business, pop culture, and lifestyle. Until then, always abide by your ABCs. Always be creating.
Bye, guys.